Hi, I'm Allison.
And I'm Tom.
And today we're going to talk about the royal baby. Okay, so as we all know, there's a new royal baby.
Yes, little Archie.
Born to Prince Harry and Meghan Markle. So you had an opportunity to run his chart to see what kind of a person he's going to be and what we can maybe expect from his personality and his life.
Well, it's interesting because he has a chart of a royal past life and soul who has been in this position before with a lot of responsibility to his position. And it's interesting because, you know, he's a double Taurus, and, you know, the Queen Mum is a Taurus, and his dad has a moon in Taurus, and
so that's a tight connection, the sun-moon connection.
His grandfather, Charles, has a moon in Taurus, and both of his cousins, Charlotte and Louis, both Tauruses. So it's like they're almost planning. The Windsors are making sure that everyone's a Taurus, apparently. But
we all know how Prince Charles' moon in Taurus manifested, don't we?
Yes.
Eat, sleep, sex, repeat.
Yeah. So, you know, he was born into a family where he was royal in his past life, and he didn't get to be with who he loved, the typical things you get in the stories of the royal families in history. And yet I think he did behind the scenes. I think he was somebody who was like, he wanted to do what he wanted to do anyway, but more secretly. And in this lifetime, he's going to do more the opposite. He's just going to come out and break the rules. And it's interesting that he used a father in Harry who's already done that. He's already broken the rules,
yes,
marrying someone, you know, from America, an actress, and biracial, and all the different things that have created diversity now in the royal family. I think that's going to continue with little Archie.
You know, Harry's been breaking rules since I think he was a toddler.
I'm sure of it.
Don't touch this. What?
Yes.
You know, he's always been a bit of a rebel.
His party
in
ways.
The family, his party ways.
Yes.
So I'm glad he found Meghan who can ground him. And I think it's also interesting that families will carry certain energies, like all Aquarius and all Taurus, or, you know, it keeps replicating generation to generation. I find it interesting that there's so much Taurus in the family. I think all the grandchildren are Taurus aspected.
It looks like right now, yes.
Even if you were to say they planned for all of them to be Taurus, that would be really hard to do. I mean, there's no guarantee.
I don't think the Queen Mum's sitting back there with a list of when they have to have sex.
I would hope not. I hope not. Probably not.
Maybe there's an extra crown jewel if they do.
So funny. Well, I'm sure it does show some that she would favorite children maybe born around her birthday that are of her same energy. I'm waiting to see one that's born in a different sign and see how they shake things up a little bit. So as a person, is he going to be funny? Is he going to be likable?
He's going to be very likable and very talkative. He's got a moon. His emotional needs are in the first house of Aries and Gemini. So he's going to have people drawn to him, and he's going to be a communicator and want to hear what he has to say. And he's going to disrupt. I mean, that's what he's going to do. Being the Taurus is like everything's from their point of view, how they are self-sufficient and how they see their lives by themselves. And so he'll be very honest probably about how he's going to live his life and be very verbal about it. And of course the media will love that.
For sure. And I think it's interesting that his father was a rebel and how parents tend to have a child to challenge them. And as challenging as Harry was, now the shoe's on the other foot. He's going to see what it's like to have a child that has his own mind and viewpoint and does what he wants when he wants.
And he's a firstborn boy, which is typical to, especially in the royal family. You want that. For history, that's been true. The boys get the throne, and then the firstborn, you know, usually is in the hierarchy of. It's changing now, but I don't think he'll ever take the throne. But he's going to be somebody in an important position his whole life because he knows how to be in that position. He just doesn't like the restrictions of it.
But he might be very popular with the people. So even if he doesn't take the throne, he may be the people's prince.
They gave him a funny name, so he can't not match that name. He's not going to be boring and staid with a name like Archie.
Sorry.
He's not even Archibald. I mean, he's just seriously just Archie. Of course, his middle name's Harrison, which is after his dad Harry. So there's
Harrison's a cool name.
That's a cool name, I know.
Would have been a cool name. That would have made a lot of sense. I know that they have to stick with tradition and pull in some more the centuries-old names in the family. There was probably an Archie the something or other in the family line, but That was an unusual choice, I thought. So right out of the gate, he's already going to be unusual because of who his parents are.
Yes.
And now he's given this name to further say, yep, you're not like other people.
Right.
Did he have any Aquarius in his chart or anything like that?
He does. The planet that rules Aquarius is the signature in his chart that says he's going to rebel in this lifetime because it's very strong. You have it, I have it, and we're going to do our own things. He's going to do his own thing, and yet he still has this persona of someone who's in a high position in society. Now, his mother's a Leo, and that's a challenge to a Taurus, but at the same time, she's going to move out of her Leo nature and move into a rising sign of Cancer because she's been in the limelight. She was an actress. She gets a huge, elevation by being married to Prince Harry. And at the same time, her Cancer rising is her mother taking over, her own sense of needing to nurture somebody that she couldn't be happier right now because she gets to get out of the limelight. She will not like it. She wants to take care of that boy.
Princess Diana was Cancerian, wasn't she?
Yes, yes.
So it's interesting. When I tap into Meghan's energy, I do see that she was great in the public eye. She's very beautiful.
Yes.
But I completely agree with you. She's going to want some privacy when it comes to her children. And I don't think the press is going to give her that. So she's going to have some challenges, much like Diana did. And Meghan's actually very sensitive.
Well, she has a moon in Libra, so she's not going to want any kind of conflict and disturbance around her family. She's going to be the one that sort of blocks that and keeps that from happening. Harry's comfortable with it, but she's not. She's protective, and she will be very protective.
She has a protective Leo instincts. The Cancer rising, people want to see what kind of mother she's going to be.
Yes.
Because your rising's how people see you. When I tap into her energy, though, she just feels so incredibly sensitive. I think she has a lot of sensitivity towards being the parents that she didn't have that stable unit growing up. And so I think she married Harry knowing that he would be a great father.
Yes.
And in her own life wasn't given the stabilizing father figure. So this is going to be very healing for her, I think.
I agree. I can speak to that because, I have a Cancer rising and I had a very unstable childhood growing up. And so I now go in life trying to create a home and stability and foundations and much more protective than I ever was growing up. So yeah, that would make perfect sense for how she's going to go through that same process.
I'm interested to see if any of his cousins are going to have Scorpio aspects in their chart because Scorpio is Taurus's
opposition.
And I'm waiting to see who. There's always two cousins that either they're too much alike, so there's conflict, or they're opposites, which can also have a similar line in an opposition. So just because we all grew up, I fought with my brother, I watched our daughter, our three girls, and them fighting for position or for the attention. And I'm interested to see the dynamics of these children who are being raised in the public eye to behave and to be the pillar of refinement and still be children.
I get the sense that Charlotte will be that. I think she's the one that's going to maintain her position and be very
regal.
Yeah, regal and beautiful.
Honestly, when I look at her great-grandmother, I feel a very common energy between Charlotte and the Queen.
I would agree with that.
And I have this just feeling energetically, she feels like a queen to me.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how it shakes out when they're adults and how she can become of stature herself, because I see her as very much a leader. I don't see her as a follower, even though she'll go according to protocol. I see her as being very much like her great-grandmother, the Queen.
Well, I think she's probably going to inherit all those hats.
Do you think the Queen lets the kids play in her shoes?
I don't know.
Grandmas do that. I hope so. Anyways, congratulations to Meghan and Harry on the new royal baby. I'm Allison.
And I'm Tom.
Thank you for joining us. Till next time.